Hello, I have returned. Welcome to Kingdom Come Deliverance II. We're going to be watching a live stream with Tobi. He's going to be playing Kingdom Come Deliverance II, and we're going to be checking it out together. I think it was about 7 years ago where we sat down together in Warhorse studio and we actually got to check out the game for the first time back when Kingdom Come Deliverance I came out. So I'm pretty excited to, sit down here once again and check out this game. It's been so long. It's been so long, guys. So yeah, we're going to check out Gutenberg, and then afterwards there's going to be a Q&A of the gameplay, and Tobi's going to answer some questions from the audience too. So you sound like a milkshake with no straw. A pro YouTuber indeed. If you've been on the channel long enough, you'll know what it's like. A classic start to the live stream indeed. Will you be getting it early to play through? Well, we might actually be doing something with Warhorse. So I was chatting to Tobi earlier today. There's a chance we might be going to visit them again like we did last time. And they've moved into a bigger studio now, so we might have a new studio tour. And we'll be doing a live stream of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with Tobi again, like we did 7 years ago. So that might be happening in January. We'll see. We'll see. I can't promise anything. The launch date is the 11th of February. 11th of February. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 has actually sold 8 million copies since they announced it recently. So it's actually wild because they have it on sale right now. So if you haven't played the first game, it's a great time to go and grab it for yourself. Honestly, it still remains one of my favorite roleplay games to date. 1 minute, 30 seconds left. Let's go, boys. I'm glad they delayed it, to be honest, because even with the delay, we've still got Obsidian's Avowed, the new RPG they're releasing, the new Assassin's Creed Shadows game. It's mainly Avowed I'm really interested in. It's just going to be such a busy February next year, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is my priority. And I'm really excited for some new gameplay. Obviously, if you don't want spoilers, we're going to be walking through the city mainly, but you're going to see the game. So if that's a spoiler for you, you've been warned. Some people are really weird about spoilers, but he's not going to be doing story elements in that sense. Yeah, this isn't about politics. I know the election's going on, but we're gamers here, so positive vibes. That's all we're here for. Will they have a cursor for aiming? I don't think so, but the crossbow is going to bridge that gap because it's going to have an aiming reticle. Let's turn up the volume of the stream here so we can hear Tobi when he begins. So stoked. Thanks for becoming a member. 37 months, Dan. Thanks so much for the support, man. And Tyler, thanks so much for the support there. 18 months being a member on the channel. You are awesome. Mount your horses, battle brothers. I've still got to play through one of the DLCs before it comes out too, so we've got that to look forward to in the next live stream.
Hello, long time no see. It's nice to be back. It's nice to have you around. I hope everyone can see and hear us. The music is still a tiny little bit quiet in the background. Let us know if it's good as is. Oh boy, this has been a fucking long time. Oh god, I said the F word right in the first minute. Can't get better than that, I guess.
Classic Tobi.
We are very happy that you are with us today. Victor and I will show you a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance. We will show you what we've shown press before, so maybe some parts you have seen already in some articles or something, or in some previews. However, now we will play it together, and of course feel free to ask your questions, everything you are interested in. Feel free to shoot it right at us. As you know, none of us is a pro streamer here, so we are trying really hard to see your questions and to react to stuff. I think it will be pretty difficult, but still,
just
we will try really hard. So prepare your questions if you have any, and let's go through the game together. And first, before we even start, I would like to introduce you to Victor, who you might have seen already if you've seen the announcement of Kingdom Come Deliverance II in June, I think it was. I hope you saw it. If you haven't, shame on you. But on the other hand, I don't think you would have been here if you wouldn't have seen it. But Victor is the art director at Warhorse Studios. And Victor, maybe tell us a few words. Who are you? How long are you in the team? And what's your what does an art what's your job? What does an art director do?
Let me just boost the volume, guys. One sec.
I'm here since the beginning of KCD2, so I started as a director directly on this project, and yeah, I'm responsible for everything art related in the game, excluding music, which is done by Genius himself, so he doesn't need any director. Otherwise, everything you see in the game that somehow needs to be goes through my direction and my supervision.
And I think music is art or visuals is actually a good point, because arts and visuals, well, first of all, it's your job, of course, to get those right. But today we will do a tiny little tour together through the wonderful city of Kuttenberg. Now I'm back again from below the table. I was just taking a controller, so playing on controller. Tobi recommends playing on controller, even the lockpicking. So absolutely legit, and we will go together today to the wonderful city of Kutna Hora. We will try, I guess, let's try in maybe 1.5 hour stream or so. Let's see how far we go and how far we get, and if you want to see and hear more. But let us start right at the beginning of our little stream today, of our little demo today. Of course, there's already people asking about the collector's edition. That's a very good point, by the way. First of all, the two of us created the collector's edition, so if you like it, congrats to us. So I'm very proud of the collector's edition. The downside is that it was so successful that unfortunately it's sold out everywhere on the planet except the United States. So maybe somewhere else, but I think especially in the United States, if you don't have the game yet, if you don't have the collector's edition yet, go there. It's I think on GameSpot. It's on for the consoles, and on Final Boss Bundle, something like that. That's where the PC version is. But go on the KCD homepage, kingdomcomerpg.com. That's where you find all the greatest and latest and greatest. However, downside is, unfortunately, collector's editions are gone. That is very sad, and trust me, it hurts my heart, same as it does yours, but the collector's edition was gone so quickly. We probably underestimated it, but doesn't matter at the end of the day. I mean, some lucky guys got it, and maybe, just maybe, there's a chance for you to find it somewhere on the internet. PS, I do not support scrappers, or how they are called, the ones that are reselling the stuff. Don't go to them, just don't make them happy. But yeah, who knows? Let's say, if you know Warhorse Studios, we have a lot of merchandise generally planned. So there will be, for instance, an art book, a very big art book coming. At some point we will have vinyl and so on. But these things are all coming later down the road. So there will be plenty of opportunities for you to actually,
the lighting looks excellent, doesn't it?
So, Victor, Kutna Hora.
Oh, the map.
Where are we? What's that?
We are in the center of it almost, in one of the richest part of the city. Like you can see from the map that those outskirts and houses around the city walls are there. That's where the cheaper houses are and poor people live, and the center we are in, it's where all the wealthy merchants and nobility of the city have their big stone houses.
So I have to tell you, like, I might be very biased, of course, since I work at Warhorse, but this map, holy moly, beautiful. Look at all those details here. And I like the fact that even those maps are actually telling a little story. So if you look at them just long enough, you will find Easter eggs, you will find hints, you will see plot parts, you see someone
thief.
is obviously stealing something here. There's some. This could be the
Spoiler.
What's
Yes,
it?
yes.
Italian court. This could be the Italian court. There's
Where
a
the money.
exactly where the money is minted. This is like some miners. There's a miner's butt, and you see all the tiny little features, which I think makes this again. It's a tiny detail, but I think KCD is a lot about those details. That's
Best
what
maps.
makes the game such a great thing. But how do you approach with maps like this? Do you I guess you take like real references or
Yes, like it's these are really nice work to do at the end of the almost end of the project. When we need to create this map, you need to have the city already built, so you know exactly what you are drawing. But interesting thing is those small funny elements and small funny moments. It's not there just because we think it's cool and it's funny, but it's also illustrating mentality of those medieval people, how they are. So they were having this kind of humor as well, and it's readily all over the books and manuscripts, and you can really find them in different ways. So we are just trying to tune with the mentality of those people, think about how they could perceive the world, how they were making jokes and so on, and then we are kind of approaching whatever we do with the same like worldview, with a similar mentality. So
that's very interesting. Now let's talk to this wonderful fellow here, Menhard from Frankfurt. Actually, some backstory. Menhard is trying to build up a fighting school here. However, he gets into trouble. And we will today play this tiny little side quest. I say tiny little, but what I mean it's a huge side quest. So let's take a look.
Who are you?
I'm excited to see the combat, which we'll see
Ein
soon.
Meister des Langschwerts aus Frankfurt. You will not find ein besser Meister for miles around, I tell you. And with whom do I have die Ehre? Who are you?
Henry. I'm pleased to meet you.
That's a terrible hat.
Sehr schön.
So
Famous German
he talks
König
this
once
funny.
also bore that
In
name.
Germany we say
He
Denglish, which is
contributed
like
to the
German
founding
English.
of the Heiliges
He's
Römisches
German. He
Reich.
came to town
A wise
and he.
diplomat
So
and brave warrior.
for those who know
Since you
Bohemia
carry
by that
such a
time,
name,
or especially
I
like
offer
places
you a
like this
duel.
one,
You can
were
prove
actually
you
pretty
too
crowded
possess the
from
courage and soul
with
of a
people from
warrior.
all over the
And do
Holy
not
Roman
bring
Empire,
shame to your
Italians,
famous
French,
name.
Germans,
When you show me how you handle a
Luxembourg, and
sword,
so on and so
I
on.
can
So
tell you
they were
what
all
to
roaming the
improve.
places, and especially here in Kuttenberg, because as Victor was already
You normally
mentioning,
challenge people to duels on the street.
Kuttenberg had a. It's called
Normalerweise nicht.
Vasquidvur or Italian court, and the Italian court is something like, think of it like the central bank of Bohemia. So that's the place where not only the money, the groschen, was minted, but also where the money was stashed. So naturally, a place like that attracts a lot of
That is why I
wealthy
must
people,
defend my
but also
claim
people
in
who
another
want to
way. My words
benefit
fail,
from a
das
place
Schwert
like
shall
that or
speak.
wealth like that.
Therefore, I issue challenges to duels. I'm looking for brave men to take them on as Studenten. The rest I want to prove cowards.
So he's, as I said, he wants to open a sword fighting school, and
Are you
we
really the
will
best swordsman
accept
in
the
these
challenge from him
Richtig.
and
No man is besser. Certainly not
go
the
into a little
Kuttenberger
sword
Fechter
fighting.
who
This will
fought
also
to
show
call
you the
themselves
combat
Meister.
system of Kingdom Come Deliverance,
I am
which is
the
something
only
that
true
we
Meister here.
reworked
If you
quite a
do not
lot,
believe me, try me.
but not too much,
I
if
challenge
I can
you
say it
to a
like
duel
that.
mit
So what I mean by
Langschwertern.
this is that the combat system of KCD is still the combat system of KCD. It stays the same.
At least we'll see if you're telling the truth or just puffing out your
It
chest.
stays the same, but
Wunderbar.
it is
I always like a
improved
good
in a way that
Kampf. But
it's
the
that we
Schwerter
try
will be
to
blunt,
make it
yeah?
more accessible,
We do
more
not want to
interesting,
lose our
more
handsome faces,
playable.
no?
What I mean by that is, for instance,
Make it easier to get into.
Aber kein
the
Harnisch.
weapons should now
No
play and
armor,
feel differently.
only
The sword
clothing.
is still the intricate,
That is
deep
the best
weapon
Kampf.
that requires a lot of skill from you. Can do the combos and everything, the tricks. But if you want a more straightforward, easier bonk on the head method, then you just go with a mace or an axe, which has a easier way how to use it, but
Just a Viking.
equally
No armor.
successful, of course.
Works for
Still,
me.
there's the
How
stone, paper,
about
scissors system. So
Wette?
the right weapon works
Wette?
against the right type of armor.
Sagt
But
man das?
yeah,
bet
the
for some
movements
grosch,
have
yeah?
changed quite a little bit.
If you believe in
And
yourself.
this, when you do the perfect block, for instance, you don't do the animation, the
Master strikes.
no, the how do you call it when the time goes slower? Slow motion. The slow motion.
And they
is not
removed slow
happening.
motion from the combat because it was a bit
Okay,
janky.
we should not talk over the NPC. Sorry.
Naturally. We're not going to work up a sweat for nothing, right? A nice wager will bring some tension into it.
Good, good. I like your attitude. We have spoken enough. Let us do it.
Why do we pay him 200 groschen?
Combat, as I said, still the same basics with the different direction. You can see that instead of the bottom left and right, we have one direction at the bottom, but this one is actually stabbing. So stabbing is not a button anymore, but it's when you aim downwards. But let's do this little thing.
Really clean UI, actually.
Heinrich, are you ready?
And we have this chatting thing. We can directly talk to them. Ready?
Oh,
I'm ready.
sick.
Let's do it.
That's cool. It's an immersive little quality.
The
You
enemy
can
is
still
after
talk.
me. Okay. Show
Look
me
at the
a skill,
little
bro.
rabbits in combat at the top.
We defended us!
Oh, the sound.
Zack.
Oh,
Dude.
it's intense.
That's my
Totally
moment.
struggling.
So the thing is, it's still a very stamina-driven combat. So as long as you have stamina, that long you can attack and block, of course. If you change the directions as I do now, oh, he dodged, very good. If you do that, then he will have a way harder time to block, of course. So directions do matter quite a lot.
Oh,
As you can
get
see, I won.
wrecked.
Hooray!
That was awesome.
That's
That
it,
looked really smooth.
You know full well you've no right to conduct the art of sword fighting here. That's the
Disgrace.
privilege of our brotherhood.
Halt die Klappe. I am Meister of Longsword. You well know this right we have from the charter of your King Wenzel himself.
Meister Menhart, let me remind you that your petition was discussed by the town council, and your claim was rejected.
That decision was not just, and it went against the will of your king.
There's no use arguing, Deutscher. The council represents the king, and the council has decided in his name. Nicholas of Prague here is also a master longswordsman, and we don't need another. Any more than we need your foreign poses.
Right then.
Bit rude.
So I will face your Nikolaus or any other man.
Das ist nicht gut.
We shall see then who is der wahre Meister and who is just full of hot air.
Well, I'm ready when you are, Master Menhart.
Oh, same
No,
voice actor.
I forbid any dueling here.
Master Nicholas, do not allow yourself to be provoked by this German cock-baiting. No doubt where they come from, they would rather hack each other in the streets than respect law and order. But here, we have more sense and dignity. If anyone is to clash swords here, it will only be when our brotherhood convenes a tournament, not when some Hundsfott feels like it.
Don't fight for free.
Dich, du Metzgerschwein. Enough of this, all of you. The council has decided this matter, and I won't waste any more time with your squabbling. You've infringed on our regulations. and
Probably
it's
the
not
safest
first
game to
time.
pre-order.
You'll pay a fine,
Scheiße. That is ungerecht. Not just.
and you will be banished from the town, so that nothing like this happens again.
Okay.
No,
So,
she gets
as you can
banished.
see, things are going downwards, and we have a persuasion system that is way deeper than it was before. You can now see speech, charisma, and might, and the counterparts, right? Domination, dread, and so on. So, they are kind of working a little bit like yin and yang, positive, negative, kind of. Might, here, mighty knights lead a good life, and so on. Dread shows that the weapon at your hip isn't just for decoration, and so on. So you can either try to use persuasion in a good way or in a negative way to get to the end or to get to what you're trying to achieve. And it again works
wow.
as in KCD1. So
Much deeper.
you can have better stats, but it also depends a lot on the situation, on your clothes, on the where you are and who you talk to and so on. Okie dokie. Some decisions are timed. I am a super buffed Henry right now, so it really doesn't matter at this moment. So Menhard is a friend of our King Wenceslas. I think
Councillor, Menhard and
that's a
Arn
nice thing.
are friends of our good King Wenceslas. That's why they have his charter, isn't it? You don't want to treat someone of that stature like a common criminal, a troublemaker. Show them the courtesy they deserve.
Fuck courtesy. To the pillory with them.
Trampling their honor and dignity underfoot is the same as trampling on the honor and dignity of our king.
Easy, Master Butcher.
Damn.
Kindly leave this matter to me.
Wordsmith Henry.
Master
Henry.
Henry here is right in some respects. You have a charter from King Wenceslas, which, in truth, I cannot simply ignore. You will not be banished from the town, but I warn you, should this be repeated again, it will not be overlooked.
Ich verstehe, Ratsherr. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I'm pleased to hear it. Nevertheless, you have actually been conducting the art of sword fighting illicitly. You shall therefore pay a fine, to which the Kutenberg Sword Fighting Brotherhood will be entitled for the infringement of their right, which also applies to your eloquent spokesman, Henry.
God damn it, Henry. Stay silent? No, speech that.
I
speech
think
that.
he didn't break any law.
Councillor, that would be all well and good if things were as you say. That's not actually how it is. Because Meister Menhard here was not conducting any sword fighting art.
Horseshit! What else would you be meeting up here with swords for, eh?
If he had actually been conducting the art of sword fighting, but Master Menhard here was only defending his honor in a duel because I wronged him.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh.
Every man has the right to defend his honor. But tell me, how exactly did you offend Master Menhard so inexcusably that it came to swords?
Okay,
I
now guys,
seduced
quickly.
his daughter. I killed his
We
dog.
insulted his art, seduced his daughter, killed his dog, slandered him, cheated him, or cheated him at dice.
I seduced his daughter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Be quick. Quickly. Quickly.
come on.
1. Dice.
Daughter.
1.
It's a daughter.
Daughter.
I
Yes.
seduced his lovely daughter. I'm not going to tell you everything I did to her, though.
Du Tier! Ich werde deinen Schwanz abhacken!
Well, he doesn't like that
Well,
much.
It seems Henry's tongue isn't the only organ he likes to exercise.
Lol.
That's what Ulrika said, too. In between moaning.
Halt die Klappe! I will cut off your Schwanz and shove it down your throat!
I understand, Menhard. You're in the right. Do what you want with Henry, but not here. Take him off somewhere into the
You
woods.
guys are monsters. Now, Menhard is angry and Henry is a seducer.
Komm, Heinrich! We
Take
are
him out
lodging
back
in
and
the
kill him.
Schenkel Kaiser Karl, not far from here on Merchantstraße. We will discuss our business there.
Oh, so you actually have a new quest that was picked
Okay,
from that.
so the quest continues. We will continue a little later. So, of course, I saw your questions. As I said, I'm not so fast in reading, so sorry for that. Let me go through a few things. So, first of all, this build we are playing is a tiny little bit older, so it's from Gamescom. And you can already see what a great state that game is. Gamescom was in August, right? We are now in November, so there's months of bug fixing and optimization going on.
It's the
And
last
as you
thing
can
you
see
do in
already, I strongly believe that the game runs extremely well. The thing that Henry is blonde, that's a bug, obviously. He's not supposed to have that. Just happens when you have this particular hat on his head. So don't worry, Henry is still the same Henry.
Hat
But
of hair
the
dye.
hairstyles, of course, is let's say modernized. Not modernized by modern standards, but modernized like he looks a little bit different, better than he did in KCD1, which is due to the technology being better that we're using. So it's not like he aged or something. It's just the tech we are using is so much more advanced than before. Well, it's still the same CryEngine, but the way how we use it and the way how we utilize it and the way how we use every inch and pinch just makes him and everything else look so much better. So
And like the whole
Jordan,
cooking
thanks for the
system
gifted
is
memberships, mate.
done
Appreciate the
basically
support,
from
dude.
scratch. So we wanted to keep still the layering, still the nice combinations,
You can do blacksmithing, by the way.
For Henry as well as NPC, so you can use the cloth of the people you rob or whatever. But the system behind it is going to be the same as all the technology behind the faces and hair and so on.
So don't worry, the combat will not be easier per se. So when I say
I'm in no
make it
mood for
easier,
nonsense.
oh,
So no messing about. Got it?
who are you? Where are you? Him? Okay.
Don't worry. I'm a saint.
Oh, so you can
So
respond
that's
to
the
people
chat
now.
system I was mentioning earlier. So people are randomly talking to you, but they're not locking to you, into a speech or
And
in a
he gained
dialogue, which is
reputation
cool, I think.
for
But what I
responding
mentioned
kindly.
earlier, I forgot what I wanted. Yeah, easier. So the game is not, the combat is not easier at all. It's still the absolute same system it was before. The only thing we are changing is that the weapons play differently. So the sword will be still the same sword gameplay as you know from KCD1. But if you as a player say, hey, I didn't enjoy that, that's not my, I don't want to do that, then you can use different weapons that will play differently and therefore give you a different feeling. So it's not easier or dumbed down or something like that. It's just, yeah, we enhanced it, if you want to call it. If
They
you
have
like that
different
word
weapon
more.
animations now too for each one.
Different.
Yes.
That's,
Okay, so Kutna Hora, it's a real medieval city, as a matter of fact. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and we rebuilt it into the year 1403. You can visit it today, the town.
Looks
you can
exactly the
visit it
same,
today,
guys.
of course, but it doesn't look exactly the same how it does right now. You
They don't have paved
had to
streets
do a lot
yet.
of work to make it look this way, right?
yeah, in a way you say a lot. It's probably way more than people can imagine. It's I'm always saying it's we are really shooting ourselves in the leg. It's like the amount of work you would do for any game, and then you add this whole research and kind of historical, almost scientific approach to it. So you need people. There are basically people who don't do anything else than specializing on medieval architecture, for example. So we
That's so
have
cool.
one guy who is like expert in medieval architecture, and that's the whole process is that much difficult because of that. It's almost insane. It's really something which we have tough time to but we
Steal
love
all
it,
the
so
armor, boys.
it's, you know, we wouldn't do it otherwise, but sometimes it's getting really complicated.
You shouldn't
But
be happy, Roland.
the advantage is also, so of course, if you build a medieval city, a fantasy city, you can just build it exactly as you need, which is an advantage for you. You can create the buildings exactly as you need them in the game. If you have
You
a
still
real
have pet
city like
dogs, yeah.
that, you have to work with real data. Oh, the shop is closed, unfortunately. Can't show you the weapon shop. This means that we have to take the historical data, and it's really nice that the city of Kutna Hora is actually working close together with us. Hi. Trying to when they found out that KCD2 will take place in Kutna Hora, they were actually very, very excited. I don't know if you know, but KCD is kind of a big deal here in Czech Republic, so that's pretty cool.
Can you turn it around?
Yes, of course.
This is one of the things, for example, like when people, you introduce them, you are building medieval city, most of the people will be really imagining those narrow, curvy streets. And for example, here we got, even inside the team, a lot of impression was this is too wide. Why it's too wide and straight, huge street. This is not feeling medieval. But the layout of the buildings on the street is basically based on the archaeological research. So we know a lot of buildings it's not standing these days, but we know where the basements of those medieval houses were. So we use the map of those documented basements, which are, and then on this layout we built a lot of the city. It was really a big help, for example, in looking for the layout of the city itself.
Fight!
They are fighting. We don't want to get involved. Excuse me. Let me go through, and we will continue with the quest and talk to Menhard here. Hello, because he wants us to wait in the pub of Charles IV. Is that the pub of Charles IV?
Yes.
Emperor Charles. which we can of course see by this picture. Oh yeah, I said that earlier. The game is the build is from August. Sorry. July, August. So of course there's a few visual bugs here, but as I said, absolutely don't worry. We put a lot of effort and hard energy to optimize it and make it as smooth as possible.
Keineswegs.
I only said it so they get off our backs, you know.
Ich weiß. But you should have thought of something anderes. Zum Teufel, you made me a big shame. I will have to fix this for my good name.
Sorry. I just said the first thing that came into my mind.
Ja, aber...
Henry.
Do not do it again. Klar?
Klar.
Gut. Auf jeden Fall, thank you for standing up for us and dealing with Fridush. We appreciate that. Be assured. It is good we do not have to leave the town or pay any Geld to those fools. That would be eine Schande. A disgrace.
Eine Schande.
Auf jeden Fall. It is not over yet with those Kuttenberger Fechter. We must somehow compete with them to preserve our honor and glory. It is not possible that a Meister such as I can be rejected and humiliated.
Richtig. Es muss Gerechtigkeit geben.
Listen, Menhard. Tell me what it's all about. You have some charter from King Wenceslas.
Ja, genau.
I think it's enough if he tells us briefly, right? There's a lot of things we have to go through.
Yes.
Or do you want to? Nah.
Just the bare bones,
skip.
please, so I know what I'm getting into.
Klar. I have a charter from King Wenzel to set up here and lead a Bruderschaft der Fechter. Aber the Kuttenbergers invited Meister Nikolaus aus Prague and set up their own Bruderschaft. And the Stadtrat confirmed it and rejected our right. Vielleicht because Sigismund is here and King Wenzel is captured. And also the Metzger Emmeram has much influence. That is why I muss mich duellieren with Nikolaus and the anderen. To defend my guten Ruf and mein Recht. Aber they have refused, made cowardly excuses and want to get rid of uns.
But our right remains. The Charta vom König Wenzel spricht klar.
Ja, we cannot just walk away and allow this öffentliche shame to continue.
Menhard, ich habe dis Idee. Aber Problem ist, we need a third man. Aber
Get
jetzt
this man a beer.
Schicksalsschmeiß upon us. And Heinrich ist hier.
Verstanden.
Heinrich will
That's you,
greifen us
Henry.
an der Arme. Ein einfacher kleiner Einbruch and we will beat them in their own game.
What's he saying?
We need your help, Heinrich. You will have to do a little theft for us. It is an easy job, keine Sorge.
Yeah, I mean, since we started the quest already, right? We'll help him.
Just agree
Good
to
old
whatever
Manhart.
it
By the
is.
way, I saw in the chat that you like his German English. It's really amusing for myself as well.
All right. I have a feeling you're in the right. And besides, you serve King Wenceslas. You can count on me.
Wunderbar.
Also zugestimmt? You will not be sorry. I will teach you many secrets of die Kunst des Schwertes. I will make you a great Fechter. Arne, lass es uns hören.
Also,
Teaches us new
es ist
combos.
einfach. You must into der Fechthalle einbrechen und ihr
Henry isn't
Gegenschwert
German, no.
stehlen.
This
and
guy,
then
Menhard,
häng
is.
it am Rathaus.
Menhard?
Es ist so. You must break into their sword fighting hall and steal their Gildenschwert. Guild sword. They must not see you. You can recognize the sword sicher. It is surely a Meisterwerk. Then you must hang it on the Rathaus for alle Bürger to see. But no one must see you. Vielleicht it is best to go at night? Verstehst du?
If you fail this quest, you
Verstehst
can
du?
get
So this thing here on the left is one of the skills, right? So and as I said, we have a pretty high level up Henry right now, so we go for that one. Sometimes when you go through skill checks, it's not only the let's say hard skills like speech, intimidation, and so on, but also sometimes but it was in KCD1 already when you learned a few perks, for instance, then you could use them in speech as well.
I'm starting to understand your plan. The Kuttenberg
like a
swordsmen
farmer.
display their guild sword on the town hall to announce that they're accepting challenges, right? Except they would never do that themselves. So, we'll give them a little nudge. They won't be able to back down, and Menhard will get the duel he wants.
Exactly, Heinrich. I see you know a lot about Fechter traditions. That makes me happy.
Menhard happy. Yeah.
All right, I'll steal their guild and shirt and hang it on the town hall. Klar.
Wunderbar. The main thing is they must not see you. And if anything goes wrong, do not kill anyone. That would spoil our plan.
Yeah, murder can make things awkward.
Lol. We would know,
Agreed.
wouldn't we?
When it is fertig, come and tell me.
Why do we have to do everything for him? Can't Menhard do
Great
this?
comment, random text. I love stealing. So, we got a quest. Our task is now to go and steal the sword, the ceremonial sword from the other sword fighting school. I saw a lot of questions about the PC specs in the chat and also about DRM. So let's talk seriously for a second, okay? Guys, get ready. So first of all, PC specs, okay? That is something that is always being made in the end of development, right? So first you create the game, put everything in there you can, and in the end you are trying extremely hard to get rid of the bugs and to optimize it on all the hardware possible. There's a minimum, there's a maximum, you know that of course. Right now, as I said, we are deep into optimizations and bug fixing. I'm extremely positive about the performance of the game and also about the state of the game if you're bothered with bugs or whatever. So we will tell you very soon. We are finishing it up right now. I can't tell you yet, but as you can see, this runs I think 80 frames per second right now, and I play on a decent PC of course, but it's or maybe even 90. So that is pretty good, but I wouldn't be too worried of course. And now the other part is...
And I think people will be really surprised what kind of PC can run it.
Yes, absolutely. So don't worry about that, right?
It's on
So
Switch,
again, as I said, we learned not from the mistakes, but we learned from what we did in KCD1. We took way more time than in the first game for bug fixing, optimization, performance tests, and so on and so on and so on. And we are working on this right now. And not only on PC, also on consoles for the console players. So there's good news for everyone. Give us a tiny little bit more time, but I think by the end of the year we should be able to tell you exactly what you should what you should get. I personally at home play on a 3050, I think, and it runs butterly smooth. But
that's cool.
As I said, give us some time on performance, on
Get the
testing,
3050s ordered,
we will
boys.
tell you soon. Okay, and now the other thing is, and let's give me a second here of your attention. So DRM, of course. So there's things floating here in the chat. There's things floating out in the internet, and many of those things are absolutely fake news. And you should be very careful with stuff you trust and see and take for bare coin. So I can tell you right now the exact situation. And the exact situation is that KCD2 will not have Denuvo in there or not have any DRM system at all. So we never confirmed it. There were some discussions, of course. There was some misalignment. There was some misinformation. But at the end of the day, there won't be any Denuvo at all. And with that, I would like you to close the case already. Stop.
Fake news.
Stop texting under every post we do that Denuvo is in the game, because it's not. We never announced, we never said it will be there. As I said, bit of a misunderstanding. But as long, and that is something you should really remember. As long as Warhorse doesn't announce anything, it's not true. So we say the things once we say them, and once we say them, they are real and it's happening. That was with KCD2 the case, the announcement of KCD2. That will be with the specs, and that is, for instance, right now with the DRM. So let's bury that thing and let's never ever talk about it anymore. And
there you go, boys.
what we can talk about though is the game. So let's resume and continue. Okay? So we are still on our quest to get the sword.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Stealing is a tiny little bit easier at night, so I might rethink my move here. But first of all, let's go in during the day. Let's try it.
One of the things you can see here is, as we spoke with the German guy, but as we go through the city, now you can see the architecture is a little bit different. That's because we are getting into the German populated quarter. So this part of the city, a lot of the houses are built by Germans, and the architecture is a little bit different.
It's such a beautiful game, really. I mean, again, yes, I know I'm biased, but god damn it, that looks just amazing. And I'm really looking forward for when the game actually releases, and you guys play it, and then you can visit the locations and go there and compare it to the game. Of course, as I said, as we said earlier, it is a tiny little bit different. Oh, I went wrong. I wanted to go through the front door first, show you the sword fighting school. You can visit the place. It will be a little bit difficult sometimes to recognize, but I think overall it's really cool.
I think you could go through the...
Yeah, no, it's too late. I go through the streets rather. Like, and all the nice clothing here. We have, I think, generally also a bigger variation of clothing, faces, hairstyles, voices, and so on. So generally when we said the game is bigger and better, I know it always sounds like a phrase, and probably it's also a phrase, but it's actually true. So we enhanced everything we could and tried to make it as nice as possible. Townswoman. This in front of us here is Haradek. Actually a little, say, garrison place or little castle thingy in the inside of Kuttenberg. They, of course, since they had the central bank here, they needed to have some garrison, some.
It's actually not like that. It's more like the palace.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Like the nobleman's, and it's also this part of the city on the edge, on the top of the river bank. You can see here in this area. It's mostly like the palaces of nobility. The richest of the rich built those small castles for themselves.
Damn, pretty good.
Show me what you've got on you.
Who?
Oh, he's getting
you?
searched. It's lucky
sure.
you
Go ahead and
search
search me.
yet.
I've got nothing to hide.
Close to the others. It's not safe.
Everything in order.
I hated this about the first game.
Now we hope.
Constantly
I hope
capture
this
me.
doesn't happen once we have the stolen sword, because if they found contraband on us, we all know how this is going to end.
Oh god, no.
I just briefly go outside, maybe.
It would be cool to see him get arrested.
There's
though.
several gates on Kutna Hora. All of them look completely different.
Damn, look at that
For
world.
those Czech people among you, you might know what's here in front of us.
Oh my god.
It's a huge church in Kutna Hora, which today is something like the...
That's from the art.
let's say like the... How would you call it? Like the city's monument, kinda. It's a huge church, very beautiful. We shot our announcement video in there, but as you can see in the game, it's just being built at the moment. And we have this wonderful view here.
My god, look at the distant land, the hills over there as well.
Nice little guy
It just
walking with
looks
his
infinite.
thingy there. It's a all the smoke is coming from the mines, and of course it's a silver mining town. So expect an upper world kinda, and also a mining underground, which we don't want to spoil too much about it, but you can use it for your advantage, maybe for stealing.
Careful. God is
Is that a toilet?
Oh, there you go.
It's a pooper.
For stealing or also questing and so on. So
chisel.
this will be pretty interesting. Right. I like how all the buildings look different, how they're all unique, how nothing is like brush painted, and that is very nice. Anyway, the dude who was actually looking for us or checking us out is one of the guards here, but we have to go down here because this is the sword fighting school, and that's the sword fighting school we are supposed to infiltrate.
build up your body as well as your spirit.
You can join them too.
Okay, he's actually a colleague. He's from the cutscene department, so some of the faces.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
I want to sword fight. No, I don't. I want to steal your sword, but I can't tell you. So, advantage of daylight. We can go in and it will be all fine. It's not disallowed to be in here, so it's not a crime. If we go, but the inside here is the sword that we are trying to steal. But the disadvantage to go in during day is that, of course, all of them will be on their toes and they will see us if we will be trying to steal something. On the plus side is that all the doors are open, so when going in there, yeah, see, it's getting tricky already, and we see the bunny on the top, which is also a new icon from the game. So when the bunny is there, it's something like, it gives you a status of what you're supposed to do, or where to be and not to be. Bunny tells us to F off, so we are effing off right now.
That's cool. Yeah, she had a gesture
and
too.
It's fine already. So going in during day might be a bit tricky, and that's why let's try and sneak in during the night. But first of all, let me go here outside, because if I time skip here inside that building, they will of course kick me out the moment they feel like I shouldn't be there anymore.
Okay, interesting.
Wrong button, there you go.
Let's see how quick the waiting is, guys.
Let's go to the night.
It's much faster than it was. I remember when the game first came out, this would take hours.
And it's nighttime.
That was rapid.
Hello, sir. It's night. Remember that at night you must carry a torch. Cool thing is that if you time skip to the night, then you will automatically equip a torch, so you don't get caught by a guard while time skipping. That's a bit weird. So, up. Let's
Honestly,
go.
this is really impressive so far. It's really cool
So,
just to see a live stream of
the concept artists or your department are the ones that are working closest with the historians, which is, I think, a pretty interesting information. Most people, when they hear concept, they think of people drawing orcs and elves, but you are the ones that are closest work. We have the in-house historian, of course, but she's working with the others, but you are working with the most of the historical data. Can you say something about that?
What do you want to hear?
Imagine
like
there's down the side of your house.
Yeah, it's like you are saying, and it's one of the tough part for some people who are coming into the company when they are really skilled draftsmen or can paint real nicely, but then we ask them to really dig deep. Fortunately, you would do even the fantasy game. The approach would be similar. You do some research. The kind of thinking about the stuff is, if you are doing it well, you do it similar as we do. It's not a huge difference, but we are kind of bound much more to respect what we learn and like don't change the stuff just because we think it's looking cool. That's the biggest challenge. Like, you are not always allowed to do what you think it's just cool. It needs to be cool, but also it needs to fit into the world.
Yeah, but I think that is also where we sometimes have to draw a line, because and that is very often I'm being asked, like, if realism isn't like a handicap or something. But you need to understand that we are not killing fun gameplay in order to make something super realistic but super boring or tedious or something. The point is that the realism part is something like the vessel or the toolbox or the techniques we are using, the story we are telling, the way how we write the dialogues, how we think about questing and so on. So that is not the issue. However, sometimes, mostly due to technical reasons, we have to bend reality a tiny little bit, and that is sometimes, for instance, that armor maybe is not maybe it's 100 years older or younger or whatever, and sometimes we say, hey, listen, it just fits so well into the setting we need it, or the streets of Kuttenberg aren't always exactly how they are in real life, because sometimes you just need that little twist and turns for the draw distances and so on.
But there are two things. First, with the armors, we are really trying to keep them as close as possible. So it's usually just the decision we are doing. For example, with one you can get with pre-order, we wanted to make kind of vintage armor, something like you get this luxurious vintage car, so this is vintage armor. So we did it like it's supposed to look like 50, almost 100 years old, like 50, I would say. So
Looks
it's not
easier.
like we just go through nice pictures of armors and bash them together, but this is exactly what we
there's
do.
people.
So even if you and even with that, we of course can make some mistakes. That's given. You will we have like around the guy who was painting the icons for clothing system. He did basically like 3,000 icons for the clothing system. So there's a
my
huge
God.
amount of assets we have just for the clothing system. So it's kind of you will have you will
Wait for
do
them to go to
some
bed.
small mistakes on the way that's uninventable. But we are really trying to be as hard and looking for details and not forgiving ourselves to lose bit. So yeah.
Sneak
And the other
100,
thing
Henry.
with the trees, we are usually trying to find some other way, something which would make sense.
You
So maybe
discovered
it's not
dice.
100% like
What's that?
we don't know how it was, for example, but we always look for how it could be.
there's
We
an
have
animation
maybe
for it.
something similar in some different cities, maybe even in the Germany. There is some similarities in those cities, so we can always
I would strangle him.
get inspired by that.
That's a good point because some of the stuff is destroyed already, so or just there's not so many things we can check out here in Czech Republic. So you guys are going further, trying to find information in France, Germany, England, and so on. However, you need to be different. You need to be careful because things are also changing in looks and styles. People had different touches and different likings and so on. By the way, the reason why I was going out because there was this dude standing around in the room, which I was a tiny little bit afraid that he will spot us. But I'm too good of a master thief
Mate,
here.
he's maxed his
So,
sneak out. And
let's
that's where he's got
go
the
out.
little black hat on. Sneak 100.
Okay. I got that sword. We should be careful about the
yeah,
knights,
don't get
the
searched by the
guards,
guards.
because as you saw earlier, they can, if they want to, randomly search us. And if they do, they will find out that we have that stolen sword on us, because this ceremonial sword is obviously something that's not belonging to us. What is important though is, and that is I think really cool,
He slowed down the water, by the way.
quests play, and this was already part of KCD1, but we cranked up the volume again here for the second game. Quests do play different according to decisions and things you do in the game, in the questing. So I will tell you later about what would happen if they will caught us, if they would caught us, or if we would lose in the beginning against Menhard. But here's a very interesting church. Can you tell us why it has only one tower? Because it still has one tower today.
Yeah, you can see it's been built in that time, so you can see there's all around. They are just trying to build it, but that's you already kind of mentioned the reason before. The whole city is undermined, and it was not really. It was dangerous to finish the tower. So when they found out, they just decided to not continue. So it looks almost the same today.
I feel like there's a pattern there. The Sazava monastery was never finished. Now this church is never finished.
And even Barbara took a few centuries to finish. So it's
I love how they
wonderful.
put that story into the gameplay.
But there's a battlement up there. Do you know why a church has a battlement up there? Do you know it?
No.
I know. So the reason why they have a battlement is it's something like a local speaker in a way. So if you want to spread a message really quickly in medieval times, you can either send the guards and send messengers and so on. Or if something is really bad, terribly, you go just on a very high vantage point, like this
the beacons.
church here, and then shout it down, like, hey, fire, or attack, or whatever. So the battlement is not for protection, like to fight there, but it's just really just to be able to stand there and shout downwards. Show the inventory.
It's like all the NPCs
Okay.
in KCD1 being
So
like,
now
murder,
you can change it.
murder.
Yeah. You want me to change the hat?
Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
they would ever say.
So now Henry's brown-haired again.
50
So
conspicuous.
yeah, the inventory got
38
a big
visibility.
overhaul as well, as you can see. There's still a lot of information there, but I think they're way more on point than they were before.
Much cleaner.
It has everything you need. The crafting is there, the skills is there, all with the little
looks
tiny
great.
sub things. You can see that polearms now has their own weapon skill tree kinda. So polearms are a thing in the game.
Heavy
Unarmed is a
weapons.
skill in the game. You can, for instance, if you have no weapon on in your hands, you can try to unarm or disarm the opponent.
Sick.
We have the different skills, of course. Here you go, survival, thievery, all the good stuff.
Yes.
And the missile weapons, the marksmanship, and so on. All the good things.
Look at all
Combos
the
are in there,
perks.
and everything you like. Kuttenberg.
Charcoal
People
burners,
of the
don't
forest.
like him.
There was the question in the chat about the polearms, and you can have them in the inventory
Yes,
and
you
just carry them around and use them as regular weapons.
Which is something a lot
So
of people
reputation with different
wanted.
factions.
can craft stuff. You can have the codex as well, as always.
Lovely.
So as I said, there's a lot of cool things. Again, this is a build from August, so this is
dope.
not final quality, of course. We will expand on a lot of things. We will change a lot of things, but I think all in all gives you already a good first touch, impression of the game. I personally love those little pictures here. Are they still existing, or did you come up with your own ideas, or how does that work?
Some of them are being found around different cities in Bohemia, so they are maybe not this one on this house, but yeah, they are kind of legit, and we found mention.
Oh, they've got the clock.
A lot of mentions of them, and there is also some interesting stories about them, like this guy during the Hussite Wars. There were those different factions, and one rich man painted one of his favorite warlord on the wall, and then got really problem in the city council and needed to remove it later. So it was really popular even to political statement or something. You just put it your favorite site on the wall.
There was also something like medieval graffiti, right? Well, let's not talk too much about it, but let's us just say that medieval graffiti will also play a role. I also like a lot the coat of arms here and the statues. It's such a common, people are saying that everyone in the Middle Ages had black teeth and everything is grey and dark
Everyone's
and ugly
dirty.
and I don't know what, but the reality,
It's not true.
well, in of course peaceful times and in rich areas was quite different. Of course, if people were wealthy, of course they wanted to show off. Of course they had nice clothes. Of course they wanted to show what they have and brag if they could and so on. So,
Be careful.
and I especially like a lot this, Kutna Hora with all the little markets here. There's a lot of different markets here and different areas.
As soon as the hell freeze over.
Because so KCD has the Kutna Hora has how many markets? 4, 5. There's a horse market, there's a coal market, vegetable market, weapons market, and so on and so on.
Steel horse.
They all are on different locations and of course selling different stuff, which is also a historical fact because of course they didn't want to have the animals right next to the vegetables and so on, and the coal is dirty, so it creates a lot of fuzz and so on. So it's quite cool, and I like these houses a lot here.
Beautiful.
It looks like an organ or something. Nice. All the shields. Heater shield. Night shield.
And you got the
These we
stats, the
can't
little
take.
stat bar came up when he
No
hovered
stealing,
over
sir.
it. That's a cool detail.
Anyway, let's
So
go
just
back to
stealing
our
it
quest.
is
So
great.
Menhard told us now to steal the sword. We did that, and now he wants us to hang the sword on the council hall, on the city council hall, which is here. And as a matter of fact, if you today go to Kutna Hora, you will not find this building because it was completely destroyed. And as a fun fact, they don't know more or less. Well, they don't know how it looked like,
That's
or
the
they
clock in
have
Prague,
some
though.
ideas, but they don't have facts. What they know is that there was an astronomical clock, but no one could tell us how it actually looked. So we took some famous inspiration from Prague, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the Prague. It's a lot of some other even smaller clockwork, but yeah, it's one of the inspirations.
Any Easter eggs on there?
So let's hang Sword of the Kuttenberg guys here.
No one's going to spot us.
Return to Menhard. So yeah, so as Victor mentioned earlier, when there's no precise proof on how things could have looked like or how they look like, then we are trying to get our best, most educated guess, or at least to make it as plausible as possible. Okay, let's go back to Menhard. Can you dual wield? No. Is there going to be check synchronization? Yes, but I won't show it today. I will show it later this month on another occasion. Bruno Orloj DLC, okay. Best game ever. Absolutely, thank you. All the children are absolutely in school. You know, the thing with children is it's, again, mostly a technical reason. So if you have children, not only do you have different, again, more clothes, more items, more animations, and so on, are you able to fight them? Are they running away? It will get a problem with age rating and so on. So there's so many things connected to having children in the game that it's unfortunately a very popular RPG decision to not have any of those in the game.
Which I think is the right decision.
What do you want to
It's so limiting to have kids
Let's
in the
go.
game.
Where's Menhard?
How they did it in Skyrim is probably better than
Oh,
Starfield, though.
no, that's not Menhard. Menhard is probably in the pub somewhere inside. Or is he not? Let me see. Oh, he's outside the street. Or is he... Oh, here he is.
But he was fit as a fiddle.
You, sir, lost your clothes, but it doesn't matter. Because the town hall... The sword is on the town hall.
The sword is at the town hall.
Wunderbar, Heinrich. Let's go right now. It will not take long before the Kuttenbergers
You
hear
should
of
get
this.
dressed first.
Sure, I'll go with you.
Natürlich. Just do not forget to pretend you are surprised.
Oh, fast travel there. Very quick loading screen.
Fucking thieves. No, no. We can't take it back now. We'd look like fools.
Na, was haben wir denn hier?
He's naked.
I
He's got
see
no
the
shoes.
Kuttenberg Bruderschaft has made a challenge to combat.
Oh, amazing.
So, I see you have endlich worked up the
Magic.
courage to face us in public.
There's no need for mocking, Bernhard. We've made our challenge, as you can see.
Wunderbar. Das freut uns.
Genau. We accept your challenge.
Well, since we've arrived at this point, listen up. It's time to put an end to this bickering. Besides, it will only benefit our town if the best of the sword-fighting masters takes charge here. So, whoever emerges as the victor of your tournament shall win the right to lead the sword-fighting brothership here. That will bring a just close to this whole affair.
Bei allen Heiligen, you have decided wisely, Fridush. It will be seen that it is we who were right from the start.
No way! You can't do this, Fridush. We set up the sword-fighting brotherhood. Stay out of it.
Can you change side?
Nah, we will not doubt the council, of
Menhard has a
course.
charter from the king. He's entitled to defend his right in combat.
You keep your mouth shut, you thief.
Calm
How
yourself,
did he know?
friend. It's not such a big deal, is it? We'll compete honestly against these Germans, and then we'll finally have peace from them.
All right, Nicholas. Let's show them Deutschers how we sword fight here. Because we ain't afraid of no one. You want combat? You'll get it. 3 members of our brotherhood will fight with 3 of yours. Each will have a bout with all 3 opponents, and we'll see who wins the most.
Du Schwindler! You know there are only 2 of us.
I agree with Emerem's proposal.
Lol. Get
Kein
right.
Problem, Arne. We also have one promising student, nicht wahr?
What did you
I
say no?
would like to ask you guys, but because there's a tiny little bit delay and most of the questions are timed, as you can see, I can't wait for the responses, but
Richtig.
I'll help Arne,
Fight on
Menhard.
Menhard's side.
Curious what happens if you
Good,
say no.
Heinrich. Good. Ah, just what you'd expect. Menhard making pacts with fucking thieves.
Was sagst
Excuse me?
Just that. Your little sticky-fingered Heinrich broke into our sword-fighting hall.
How did he know?
Now that's nothing but dirty slander. I never stole anything, you liar.
Pah! Swear it if you like. My conscience is clear, which is more than can be said for you.
You're telling the truth, Amaram. I heard about it too.
Oh, what?
Nevertheless, the duels will go ahead with longswords. But because Henry committed a dishonorable deed against the Kuttenberg Brotherhood, they shall be allowed an advantage.
We have to fight
The
naked.
Kuttenbergers may fight in halberds and steel helmets, and the Germans will face them only in gambesons.
Oh,
Es ist nicht gut, Menhard. Es ist ungerecht.
Moan all you like, Deutscher. You deserve it. Keine Sorge, Arne. Wir können es schaffen. Agreed. Komm, Heinrich. We must prepare for the Fechten.
the council is having a great banter.
So-
isn't he? He's just
So,
enjoying the
Heinrich,
show.
we will engage with these Kuttenbergers. Endlich. Danke. You arranged it for us. Aber schade that they have seen you doing it.
I'm sorry, Menhard. I did what I could. Is it going to make things difficult for you?
Should have killed them all.
Yes. The Kuttenbergers will have light armor, but we must manage it. I am more disappointed that they will now know of our kleine Deceit. Aber nichts. We can only restore our good name by victory in combat.
You can count on me, Menhard.
Oh boy.
It will be an honor to fight by your side and enforce the will of our King Wenceslas.
Genau, Heinrich. But first, we must make you one of us and accept you into our Bruderschaft.
All right?
All
Is that a
right.
problem?
Nein, nein. You must only take an oath and undergo a test. We cannot just take everyone. That is our Regel. You must show that you have some skill with a Schwert and that you will not bring us shame in the Gefecht. So we know that you will not lose your life in combat.
Surely that's not necessary. After all, I defeated you the first time we met, remember?
Na ja, you are right. Herrgott, you must have been sehr glücklich. But you fought well, yes. And you showed that you have some skill. So, we can receive you into our Bruderschaft
You've
sofort.
changed my mind. I don't want to
Menhard,
swear.
I'd like to join your brotherhood.
Certainly. Let us go somewhere more geeignet, so it has some class.
Go to the pub then. Oh no. The
Each
back
new
alley
member
graveyard.
must pay for acceptance. But in your case, since you have helped us, I will relieve you of that obligation.
Danke, Menhard.
And now, the oath. Arne will be the witness.
I will be honored.
Kneel, Heinrich. Hör gut zu. Do you solemnly swear that you shall act honorably and justly, and that you shall not bring shame upon your name or mine, or bring disgrace to the sword-fighting Bruderschaft? That you shall defend and adorn the reputation of the
That'd be a lie
Bruderschaft
for me.
and its rules, and that you shall heed my word in these matters. That you shall diligently train in the art of the Langschwert, and not allow yourself to be shamed in combat. That you shall thus act for the greater glory of our Bruderschaft and our martial art.
He wants a
Place
lot.
your hand on this sword and swear.
But it's got the Warhorse logo.
Okay,
Oh,
now we
it's
can
not
choose.
Warhorse.
Do we swear by the king, by the father, the blacksmith, or all the saints? 1, 2, 3. Father. 1, 2. King.
By the
2, 2, 2,
father,
2, 2, 2,
the
2,
blacksmith.
2, 2, 2.
Of course.
By swear by father, the
swear.
blacksmith.
By the memory of my parents, and by the soul of my dear departed father, Martin, blacksmith and sword fighter, I do so swear.
Stand as one of us. Heinrich, I hereby name you my student in the art of sword fighting.
Sword fighting.
All honor to you, Heinrich. It is good that you have come among us.
And now listen to your first lesson and always remember this principle. It is not important to strike, but to strike and wound.
I'll remember that, Menhart.
Wow.
Good, Heinrich. I shall make a great fechter out of you one day. Let me know when you are ready. We will get to work and cross swords with the Kuttenbergers.
Actually, I'm an idiot because when I was showing you how, the way how they found us was when I was trying to get there during day. Can you remember I was showing you the bunny thing? So I'm an idiot. If I wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have seen us. But on the other hand, it shows you that, as I said earlier, quests do play differently according to what you do. So now, since they know that it was us who stole the sword, stupid me trying to show you the bunny icon, then they get the advantage of fighting in plate armor. If they wouldn't have found out, they would be too embarrassed to actually admit it, and they would be fighting. We would both be fighting in light armor. So I think that's quite cool. And if we are being searched by the guards, then they would take the sword from us.
Oh wow!
2 sword-fighting brotherhoods will match their skills.
Amazing.
The Gutenberg Brotherhood, led by Master Nicholas.
Looks so cool.
Glory to Kuttenberg! Kick those Germans' asses, Emmeram!
Das ist gut, ja.
And the Frankfurt Brotherhood, led by Master Menhard.
It is an honor to be able to show off our skill in front of the whole Kuttenberg.
The reason for these duels is the dispute over the right to run the local sword-fighting hall and the associated brotherhood. The local brotherhood was founded by Emmeram the Butcher and his associates. What they did not know, though, was that King Wenceslas had tasked Master Menhard to do the same.
The king ain't here, Emmeram is! The Brotherhood belongs to the Kuttenbergers!
And since King Wenceslas cannot resolve the dispute, the town council ruled it shall be decided through a duel. So,
Duel to the death.
the matter shall be settled before the eyes of the council, as well as the burghers of Gutenberg
That one
and
guy in a
God
pig.
Almighty.
A wise decision by the council. Let the best master lead our brotherhood.
The duels will be fought with longswords. The Frankfurt Brotherhood will fight in light armor. However, the Gutenberg Brotherhood will be granted the advantage of the halberd, because Henry here present aggrieves them with dishonorable behavior.
Henry.
Nicht nötig. Armor or not, we are the better fechters.
You got a lot of nerve for a young pup.
Enough of this. You will have the opportunity to face off soon enough.
Each dueler will face each on the opposing team, and whoever beats his opponent twice
Tag
wins
team.
the duel. The Brotherhood whose members get more victories will be declared the overall winner. As is the law, all the necessary armor was lent to you from the town armory, and you must fight in it. If there is anything wrong with the armor, you can fix it with any of the repair tools you'll find in the armorer's tent. And in
so you can
case
actually
someone
go
gets seriously injured, the bathmaid will give them the care they need.
God damn.
Or
Will
Father
she?
Tobias will perform the necessary rites.
But I do not think it will come to that.
Now that everything has been made clear, swear before God. You will fight fairly, justly, and respect the judge's decisions, as well as the outcomes of the duels.
Das geloben wir im Namen des Vaters, des Sohnes und des Heiligen Geistes.
By God Almighty, we so swear.
All the requisites
This is
have
so
been
cool.
satisfied. Therefore, let us proceed to the first duel. Master Menhart against Lindhart, the cobbler.
The cobbler. I'm sure he'll win.
Let's go.
Let's go. Now where's that?
So they will now start the fight together. As I said again, don't worry the little bugs here and there. As I said, that's a build we are having from Gamescom. So chances are extremely high that most of the stuff is already fixed. It's just it was a very good stable one for streaming, so we
Can you enter the arena?
Anyway, they are now fighting. As you know, most of the all the NPCs are able to also fight. Obviously, we did a big change in the combat, so that not every enemy will be able to counter parry you and master strike you and so on. So there should be bigger variety and so on, and not everyone will do the super moves. But you can get a good guess of who's fighting by looking, or how they are fighting by looking at that.
Makes sense.
I will take, what should I take here? Sweet pancake, of course. And maybe a roasted chicken leg. Give it to me.
Just keep it in your pocket so it goes off.
I will eat this. And the sweet pancake.
So the nourishment went up there. Menhar's destroying him.
Hooray!
Today's first victory goes to Master Menhar. Let's see if he can keep it up, or if Linhardt can even the score. Get ready for the next round.
Is it random, or does Menhar just kill everyone?
Henry, your villainy disrupted the court dispute.
What?
And I therefore ban you from participating.
What?
But because you have broken the law as one of Menhardt's duelists, your offenses also fall on him and his honor. I therefore declare the dispute settled in favor of the Kuttenberg Brotherhood. And you, Henry, will be punished according to the law by the guard.
No way!
Well, I screwed up. I don't know how I screwed up, but I screwed up.
You've been loitering around where you shouldn't have. And I've received reports of things going missing. Don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft. You'll pay a fine. And if I don't find those things on you, you'll pay for them too.
He ate them. That's funny, so he has to pay for them because he ate them. I'll pay the fine. 1,700 gold.
I don't want any trouble.
What?
Now, let's have a look at what you've stolen. Show me the goods. And if I find anything else on you that doesn't belong to you, I'll confiscate that too.
Take a look then.
Good. You don't have anything else on you that doesn't belong to you. In that case, an indulgence will suffice. Now, be on your way.
Funny. Okay, let me see. With maybe I have maybe that one. That one could
not,
be.
It was because he stole the chicken, right?
Let's try. Tell Manhunt.
That wasn't meant to happen,
though. This one.
It reminds me of my recent video, Kingdom Come Deliverance II.
Maybe we can save the situation.
Damn. That's what happens if you win the
1,800 is really hard. We need the cash.
God
but
damn.
you get the bathhouse you wanted to see earlier, right? So it has something. Let's try again in fast forward mode and see if we can this time win.
You've got to see how that's
win fair and square. Well, fair and square
cool
stealing without anyone noticing us.
Seeing both sides of the
But it's
coin is
life,
good.
and life things happen sometimes. Don't worry. As I said, very early build still, and these are really minor things that should be gone already. In the meantime, we will have a wonderful night stroll again
that's a
through
rapid
the city of
Much better than the
Kuttenberg.
first
By the
game.
way, whenever we are mentioning Kuttenberg, everyone's like so focused that one map is Trotsky Castle and the other map is really only the city Kuttenberg. But Kuttenberg, honestly, is just a very tiny part of the entire map. So if you look
Look at
around,
that.
Kuttenberg is big, as you can see. Suchdol, oh my god. But still, it's just
What's
a
that?
tiny, well, on the map size at least, a tiny place in the entire map. So let's try again, and this time hope for the best. Hop, 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 hop.
The door's open, just YOLO.
Maybe hide the torch.
Oh, that's a good point. I also didn't check if there's someone here. Hop. Let's hide the torch. Sneaky sneak.
Sprints into his house like, Henry's coming to rob you.
Let's try again. And let's this time
Sneak
be
100, let's go.
undetected. So hop.
We didn't actually talk about the new lockpicking system, but this is a different lock to the one we saw earlier.
But as you could see, the game makes much more autosaves than it did in KCD1, which is also, I think, good news generally.
Yeah.
We still have the save system with the Savior Schnapp, so if you want to manually save the game, you have to use that item, that potion. But... Oh. Nice.
Hello
At least the dude is not
there.
here standing anymore, that's a good sign.
Can we strangle the other guy
hope for
and
the
just
best.
steal his clothes?
So if you manually save, you still have that minimum amount we want you to invest this potion, and but so now from the feedback from KCD1, we learned, of course, that it's a system that has a lot of lovers, a lot of haters, but we stand by the design decision we did there. So you still have to do that, but in order to make it a little bit more usable, let's say, because in KCD1, when you needed the save potion most, it was hardest to come by. It was not easy to craft. It was extremely expensive. You could rarely find it, and so on. So this is something that will be different now. It will be easier to come by.
That's good.
And you will get it on your hands easier. But as I said earlier, we still want you to have that minimum invest of. Good point. Very good. Thank you, guys. Torch. No, that would be a shame if they would
dono, mate.
stop me
Keep up
and
the
check
great
me out
content. Glad you're
for
enjoying
goods
it.
now.
I'm
But
so
yeah,
excited to play
we want
this.
that minimum invest of having that savior potion. So
I do agree with the
that
save
stays in
system,
the
by the
game.
way. I think it's the best.
Okay, we're almost there.
Makes you feel like
Running
there's
like
something
the
to
wind,
lose
running like the wind.
with your decisions.
Better don't talk to anyone. And let's see, this should be now better. Hop, hop, hop.
Wunderbar.
Hop, hop, hop.
Didn't see
The
anything.
problem was really not that they have the armor. The problem was that they saw me committing some crime, and I guess the crime system still triggered. But this should be gone now. No bunny. No crime. No witnesses. And no killing. Menhard wanted us to not kill anyone. That's also very important. Because otherwise
funny
we
if we
all
did.
know that Henry is a silent killer. Smooth killer.
Excuse me,
Ah.
but you can't just creep around.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't get searched. Run.
Let's just hope for the best. Sorry, don't mind me.
Actually, we're okay to get searched
Okay.
now. We dropped off
Almost
the
there.
stolen goods.
Almost. Too stupid to push the right buttons. Let's time skip to the morning and let's try
I
again.
just break into his house and get him in bed.
So, about killing with no witnesses. Actually, the crime system got improved a lot. So, when they do not see you directly committing a crime, then of
good.
course, this was also already part of KCD1, they will have problems to tie it towards you. However, I fall down the stairs.
Abdallah, thanks
But
for the dono.
if you commit a lot of crimes in a specific area, and no one knows it was you, then the area will generally get more vigilant. The people will start carrying weapons around. They will. The skill checks will be trickier. Let's see if we have clothes now at least.
Fucking thieves.
No. We can't take it back now. We'd look like fools.
Okay, we saw that already. So skip. Let's skip it.
I see you have endlich worked up the courage to face us in public.
There's no need.
Wunderbar.
Yeah.
Since we listen up.
Yeah.
Besides, it will only be so. Whoever that will
Let
bring
me
a just
see
close to this whole affair.
if
By
they.
allen Heiligen, you have decided.
No way! You can't do this, Fridush. We set up the sword fighting brotherhood. Stay out of it.
Menhard is
Menhard,
right. I
shut
want to
up.
see
This
the
is a matter for
Calm yourself.
dialogue.
All right,
It will be
Nicholas.
different now.
Let's show them Deutschers how we sword fight here. Because we ain't afraid of no one. You want combat? You'll get it.
Doesn't accuse you this
3
time.
members of our brotherhood.
Du Schwindler. I agree with him.
Kein Problem. We
Okay.
also have one.
Okay, yes, I'll help you.
Gut, Heinrich.
Agreed then. The duels will begin when you're all
See? So now it worked, and now we will all fight only in Gambesons, which is pretty cool. So you can see tiny changes in the questing can lead to bigger. Tiny changes in the questing can lead to bigger changes than in the world, kinda. This also is, if you remember, I won the first fight against Menhard, and only because of that, he immediately accepts me into his sword fighting school. If we wouldn't have won the first fight, then he would want us to fight Arne first, who is his apprentice. And yeah, we would have to show first that we're able to fight in his name and for his honor. I'm skipping really quickly. Of course, this makes the camera all go wonky, but don't worry, that's just a minor thing. Yeah. And you can see there we are both fighting in Gambesons now.
But I do not.
Yeah. All good. Let's just fight. And I will this time better not take any chicken leg or nothing. So let's fight, gentlemen. Do it.
For the glory of Gutenberg!
For the glory of Gutenberg. Let the duel begin. Oh, probably I should save. That's a good point.
Yeah, good idea. You got some Dutch courage. So you get a slight boost to your stats.
For Gondor, exactly.
So if no one witnesses
You
me,
wanted to kill me for a chicken wing, exactly. I still would take it. The bunny is back, don't worry, this bunny is fine. What I was worried about was the red gate on the top left, which is not there. So the searching bunny is fine. Just need to win, need Menhard to win. The roasted chicken leg looks so good. I want it so much.
Victory
Oh,
goes to Master Menhard.
Easy.
Let's see if he can keep it
much
up.
quicker
Or if
without the
Linhard
yes,
can even the score.
it was much quicker without the armor. Exactly.
For the next round.
Because of course, as I said earlier, the NPCs are using the same mechanics as you do. So if they fight in armor, it's harder to wound them. If they attack spots that are without armor, then you do greater harm and so on. So this is all in there and all calculated.
So he goes on to the next.
And they can do all the tricks, of course. And as I said earlier, not everyone can do all the tricks. He said sorry and he got whacked anyway.
Behold, Master Menhard proved his mastery.
And of course they can lose as well. This is not a scripted thing, so let's see how everything turns out.
Its first victory.
It was the question about white screens. Can you comment?
About what?
About white screens.
Moreover,
supporting white
Lady
screens.
Fortune has a difficult task in store
Well,
for
we do.
Linhard,
But
because the
again, please
Longtron
be
determined
patient
that the
about
next
that.
fight
This is
will
all
also be
a
his.
performance thing.
This time
And this
it's
is something
Henry
we
who
do
will
at the
face
end.
him on the
But
side
Dan
of the
Vavra and
Frankfurt
Victor are playing
Brotherhood.
both and testing both on
Cheer
widescreen.
for
So
both fighters. We'll shortly
now we
see
didn't
which of
appreciate
them
how I showed
will
off
best his
my super
opponent.
sword here.
But regardless of the
Contenders,
performance,
Get to it.
the UI especially was designed with white screens in mind, so it's even better.
Oh no! I put the sword away. Sorry, sir. I wanted to change direction so quickly. Dude, no problem at all. Absolutely no problem. I'm just too good against him. And look how wounded he is already. Easy peasy. All the blood on the ground here.
Let's see if the winner can keep it up.
Maybe he just wants to go to the bathhouse. Because the chat wants to go to the bathhouse. I saw that already.
No time to lose.
Yeah, no time to lose.
Get to it.
Less talking, more killing. One attack to the head. And an unstabbity stab.
It's not even defending.
Come on, dude. Dude is wounded already. Yeah, no problem at all. Easy.
Who's the better sword fighter again?
Yeah.
That makes the second victory for the Frankfurt Brotherhood.
Yeah.
So we've won. Easy.
Woohoo!
Leave the tournament pen. Steal a sword quickly.
Oh, Arne is our team member as well. I think he's fighting now, I guess. Right?
He's getting drunk.
Is he? Let's see.
Smashing back those beers.
Let's now proceed to the third duel. The Kutenbergers will be represented by Emmeram the Butcher. Give him your support, and we'll see if he can do better than Linhardt.
I can't wait to kill all the
Because his
contestants before the
opponent
battle.
will once more be Master Menhardt.
Uh-huh.
I'm really going to try and break the game when I get my hands on
Oh yeah, so about the tournament. Of course, this one is now a tournament that is happening in a quest. But of course, as you know, the tournaments in Rathai, then Kutna Hora will also have them, as you can see here right now. So tournaments will be a thing as well in the game. Don't expect jousting. I can already crush all your house. Jousting will not be a thing in KCD at all. So the tournament is a thing that is focused on sword fighting mainly, or well, melee fighting mainly. But I know everyone wants jousting, but I think that it's maybe a little bit like Quidditch and the Harry Potter game. I think that's a game for itself, kinda. But yeah. How frequently the tournaments will be? Well, there will be some kind of rhythm. I can't tell you from the top of my head, but there will be, of course, some kind of rhythm, and you can be part of that.
Damn.
Yeah, the bunnies actually are they are more successful, more famous than we thought at the beginning. And as a matter of fact, there's several team members who got a bunny tattoo right now. I think that should be we should create plushies or something.
The bunnies are in medieval
and have the
artwork.
KCD rabbits. Yeah, pole in the way. I'm sorry. It's a tent, okay? So maybe here. Okay, Menhardt won again.
Saw it with your own eyes, good citizens.
Yeah, PC requirements. I talked about this earlier. That is something that we are working on right now. But as I said, don't get scared about that. We are trying. We are all gamers here. We are all geeks and gamers at Warhorse Studios, and we want this to run smooth and butterly. So it will be on common settings, I'm sure. So nothing to be scared about. But I think by the end of the month or so, we will be able to tell you. But that is something we are working on right now.
I'm glad they wait until
How many percent the game is ready? Well, that's a tricky question. Theoretically, it's 100% ready, but feature-wise and stuff from the game. But the reality is that what we are doing right now is bug fixing mainly and optimization. So you saw a few bugs here. I think the visual ones are not. So yes, I mean visual bugs are nasty, but not a huge problem. The way worse bugs are ones that are crashing your games or whatever. So those need absolutely be gone. So that is priority number one, to have not those annoying bugs in there, but just a few as least as possible.
Basically, you can play the game as you will when it's released. Just jump in, start the first quest, and finish the game in a couple of...
Okay, now the third of our team is fighting against the sword master of the other school.
He's gonna die. Imagine if he just gets his head chopped off. That'd be brutal.
Ready? Go for it!
Oh, there's a cutscene. No. Why are you so scared?
Watch out. He's coming round.
Even if they win, they still lose. Right?
Zum Teufel!
And the victor is...
Nein!
Get up.
Mit der Hilfe Gottes. I will continue.
I choose death.
You're brave, but foolish. This will not end well for you. Yield.
Niemals. Arne does not yield.
The nobles look impressed. They want blood. Oh my god, he's dead.
This Gefecht is over.
You win.
Menhard jumped over that thing
You
pretty
acted
quick.
with chivalry, Master Menhart. But intervening in a duel is a breach of the rules. There is no choice but to disqualify you from the tourney.
This dude can't catch a break.
Uh-oh.
I miss stories being this good. Oh!
How does it look?
He's
not
badly
even doing
shaken up,
anything.
but that should improve in time. At first, I thought I'd have to send for the priest, but he had more luck than sense.
Yeah, she does. She's doing some voodoo witchcraft on him. But don't worry, that's missing animation there. But as I said, it's an early build, so
The bad news
that's
is
not the point. She will actually check his limbs and everything. So once this is done, this will look really cool.
He'll get his sight back in that eye, but I can't say for sure. In my experience, it's in the Lord's hands.
Yeah, sure.
Send for the best physician in all of Kuttenberg. Schnell! I will pay
Schnell.
alles.
Snail.
Rest
Schnicker.
assured, Master Menhard, we will send for him as you command. I am sorry that the whole affair has taken such an unfortunate turn. I will pray for your companion's health.
Danke, Friedrich. Aber what about the duels?
Beruhige dich, Arne.
Yes, that's what I came here to clarify. However, I expect on account of Arne's injury, your brotherhood has forfeit the fight.
Nein, Menhard. Du musst keep fighting.
We will continue. Let him die. Let him die. Continue. Continue.
Continue
Send him
1-1-1,
in.
of course, right?
Send him in.
Henry the
Arne
Savior.
Menhard and me can continue.
Heinrich hat recht. I want to duel Nicholas.
I understand your wish, Menhard, but I can't grant it. You've been
2
disqualified.
combo breaker.
Scheiß drauf. I will fight Nicholas, and you better get out of my way, Friedrich.
I'm warning you, Menhard. You swore to respect the results of the duels.
Verdammt!
Listen, Nicholas has defeated Arne, and Arne is in no shape to continue. So
He's
all
fine.
3 victories go to the Kuttenbergers. Menhard, you defeated Emmeram and Linhart, but you can't duel Nicholas. So 2 victories belong to you, and 1 to the Kuttenbergers. The only one who can still fight for you is Henry. He already defeated Linhart, so the score is 3-4 in favor of the Kuttenbergers, with 2 duels left.
But Menhard didn't
Hold on,
lose.
Friedrich. Arne could duel, but it's clear he wouldn't win. So all the victories here belong to the Kuttenbergers by right. But the only thing preventing Menhard from fighting is your decision. Otherwise, he's at full strength and ready.
That is true.
We
Yeah, I didn't
swore
get
we'd
that.
respect outcomes of the duels, but since there was no duel between Menhard and Nicholas, there is no outcome. So neither side can claim victory.
Wise
Logic.
words, I must admit.
The way I see it, both sides have 3 victories, and I have 2 duels left.
That sounds right and fair to me.
All right, so be it. So if Henry beats both Emmeram and Nicholas, you'll get the overall victory.
Gut, Heinrich. Fight for us. You are ein guter Fechter.
Also, Heinrich, our
500
fate and
EQ,
our
Henry.
honor lies in your hands.
Okay. May fortune
I hope
favor
Lady
me.
Fortune will favor me today.
Well said. I'll be waiting for you in the
I'm
arena
feeling
where
quite
you'll
hungry.
face Emerald. So get ready quickly.
Should have taken those chicken legs. I reckon we
You
end
take
this
care of
suffering.
Arne. I'll take care of the
Hear ye,
Kuttenbergers.
hear ye! Arne the German can't take part in further duels due
Arne
to his
the German.
injuries.
Sounds like
so
a wrestling
3
name.
wins
Press
go
LB
to
to show off.
Gutenberg. The Frankfurt Brotherhood has won 3 rounds, but so has Gutenberg. Master Menhart cannot duel against Master Nicholas since he's been disqualified from further rounds. Their duel will not count at all.
Rip.
That leaves us with only 2 duels left. In the first, Henry will now face Emeram.
Raise your hand. Yes.
Contenders, get to it.
Here we go.
But I think we should, at this point, get to a little stop. We will not tell you how this duel,
No.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. There were some spoilers, but the end of the tournament is kind of open. I can tell you already, depending on how the thing will be ending, the quest will again be different.
So many avenues of choice there.
Menhart might move into town, for instance. If you lose, things will happen differently. So again, as I said, tiny things in the game can change quests, and this was just a side quest, and we are playing for, let me see, for almost 2 hours already. One side quest. Well, of course, I had to redo a little part, and I was looking around a lot. But you can see that the games and the questing in KCD2 will be really hefty and chunky. I think
It's a
you can
long
easily say it's like a 80 to 100 hours game easily without any DLCs in mind. So it will be a huge
DLCs
game.
confirmed.
A lot of things for you to discover, a lot of things for you to play with. Is there anything that you are still want to know? I think we covered most of the questions in the chat. As I said, the optimization is something we're doing right now. So PC specs will come a tiny little bit later. Bathhouse will of course be in the game, and how it will actually look like.
No DVR confirmed,
Is
by the way,
something
guys.
you will see in the game. I was talking about the collector's edition that is still available, unfortunately only in the United States. So, well, if you're lucky, maybe you can find them somewhere in Europe still, but unfortunately they were, well, good for us, they were sold out really quickly, but bad for you, of course, or for those who didn't get the chance to get any. But there's still a few available in the United States on GameStop, and Final Boss Bundle, I think is the name. How are voice lines generated according to the duels, you said? It was so quick, I didn't see it. Would the game use KCD1 saves for minor details? No. So the saves and all this. So the thing that will be carried over are some skills from Henry. So of course he's still able to read. He will not magically forget this all of a sudden or something like that. So this is still a thing, but we kind of move the how should I say it? The scale to the right. So I always say that Henry in KCD1 was kind of the champion of the Sunday League at the end of the game. So he was a good fighter, somewhat. He was able to fight off most of the bandits and were able to have some tougher fights. However, now in KCD2, he's going on the bigger stages with armies involved, with kings involved, with way bigger things on stake. So he still knows how to fight, but he has to, of course, hone his skills and develop even further. So he doesn't magically forgets everything. He just has to continue growing and learning stuff.
Makes sense.
Okay.
The other thing that actually carries
Blacksmithing,
over is
of course, big thing in the game.
you have a
I
relationship
don't
with
have
Teresa.
anything to show you yet.
That's coming.
Yeah, the voice lines
Why
are
haven't they
changing
shown that
according
off,
to what's
though?
happening in the game, of course, and
Weird
also
decision.
you saw that earlier when they saw us stealing the sword, then the dialogues was different. The dialogue was different, and the tournament itself was different. So yes, it's all depending on what's going on in the game. Different endings. So you know the thing about KCD 1 and 2, it's not so important. The ending is not that important. Well, of course the ending is important. Everyone wants to get to the end and find out how everything ends. However, what is way more important, I believe strongly in KCD, is the way how you get there. So it's not about there's 15 endings waiting for you and now you have to get the best one, and only if you play this way you will get the good ending. It's really more about how you go through the game, how you decide, and how the world unfolds in front of you. Not everything, of course, is reacting strongly on your decisions, but in many cases, in quests, for instance, Henry will put into a position, into huge crossroad decisions where he has to decide if we attack this thing, then something bad will happen to my crew and to the mission. But if we do something different beforehand, which might be a very terrible thing to do, then the crew will be safe. However, innocence will suffer. So Henry will put into a decision, of course, also in these inner conflicts. And I think that is also really cool that Henry now in KCD 1 grew from boy to man, and now in KCD 2 has to grow from man to warrior. Not a hero. Henry is still good old Henry. However, he gets put onto the bigger
Love that.
stage, and bigger things
Sounds
are
really cool.
What's the maximum edition for pre-order? What's the maximum edition for pre-order? Gold edition, I guess.
You can literally
collector's
craft
edition, but you
swords.
can't get that anymore. But the gold edition, which is the base game and all the upcoming DLCs, I think there's already. We mentioned that there's, I can't remember, the 3 paid DLCs and some free stuff as well. Pretty much kind of the same, let's say,
level as the OG.
Yeah, thinking behind the DLC plane as we had in KCD 1. So I think if you know how much energy and brain work we put into the DLCs, then you can expect cool things that will be game changers as well. They will always bring some either new characters, new mechanics, new features, something really that is out of the ordinary, and I think that's pretty cool. And if you have the gold edition, which by the way, I was looking down the numbers and I saw that there's the vast majority of everyone who pre-ordered is gold edition. So you guys are real fans, and good choice, if I may say so. By the way, I see the wish list counter there. So go on Steam if you haven't yet. Go wishlist the game. If you're not sure yet, then of course don't pre-order if you don't want to. But if you want to,
Wishlist
free.
on Steam, guys.
But wishlisting would be great, because that's it's a number that always helps. You can use it if you are in discussions with partners or publishers or whatever.
Trying to get funding and whatnot.
Good. There's questions about Teresa. Generally, I can't tell you anything about the characters in the game. So of course, the plot. Let's say it that way. There will be many characters, or some characters from KCD 1 will appear, but the majority of the characters will be absolutely new ones, and that's everything I can tell you so far about the characters.
And there are some really great characters.
Of course,
some of my favorite characters are from the new ones, from playing the quests.
You saw many of them already in the trailers and in the little videos we released. Let me tell you a little bit about that. So, maybe tiny spoiler. So, in KCD 1, you are most of the time playing alone, right? So, Henry is going through the forest, killing humans, doing quests or whatever. Now, in KCD 2, you are not alone anymore, because Henry, as he's being dragged into those bigger problems and into these bigger situations, Henry will really quickly find out that he can't deal with the problems by himself anymore, that he needs friends and he needs a crew. It's not like a companion thing like Skyrim or whatever. It's more, think of it more like Red Dead Redemption with the camp, right, where you have the different interesting characters and they will want, and you're going on quests with them every now and then. But you have to gather that group, you have to be part of them. You are not the leader of that group. You're just a chess piece on a board. But it's interesting that you will have to be in contact with those people, and I think that's really cool. And that is what Victor mentioned. There's so many extremely well written and interesting characters. One of them we saw in the 25 minutes gameplay video we released not long ago. You know, the Polish dude that was hanged on the cow. So fun fact about him: he's speaking Polish in all the voiceover versions we have. So in the English one, German one, and so on and so on. He's always talking Polish. No one understands him, but he kind of understands everyone.
That's funny.
Will there be difficulty settings? No, of course not. We never did that. We are thinking of some form of hardcore mode again, but there's no precise plans about that yet. No Denuvo. I talked about this. There won't be any Denuvo, and let's please spread the word and let's not talk about this anymore, because that's kind of ridiculous, I think. If you know us, then you know us, and you should know better, guys. Ray tracing, we are using some CryEngine ray tracing, something like an in-house how do you say that? Some CryEngine stuff. So it's not ray tracing as what you might think. GOG, that would be great. That's at least we're trying that, of course. God, there's so many questions. You're way too fast.
There was one which was directed to me, and I will answer if you...
Sure.
It's interesting one regarding the mud on the streets, and I saw there were some YouTube videos after we shown some of the first footage of the game, and people were complying that the streets should be street, and it's just not true for what we know. We simply didn't found any evidence about pavement of any kind being in Gutenberg City in that era, and we believe a lot of effort and money was thrown on the facades of the buildings, so everyone had their private property nice and clean, and a lot of effort spent there. But the streets, we kind of believe they should look how they look in the game in Gutenberg City. So maybe some cities on the west, like Paris or London, much richer, older, it may be different, but in that time, in that
muddy
city,
streets,
we are pretty sure with this decision.
Cool. And with that, I would say, there was a question also before if there will be more castles than just Gutenberg. So Gutenberg is not a castle, it's a city. But of course there will be castles, there will be more fortifications, especially... So the first map is the Trotsky map, kinda. We call it Trotsky map. It has the central Trotsky castle with those huge towers left and right. And this is a more rural area, let's say, deep forests, huge sandstone formations and these kind of stuff. So very green, yeah. And the other map is Kutno-Horsko, which means that actually the area of Gutenberg. You saw in the game when we showed you that Gutenberg was just a tiny spot on the bottom right of the map. Of course, there's more fortifications. There's some castles. There's some villages and so on. So quite cool. And there's a lot of stuff to venture to, and
And there's DLSS and FSR both in the settings.
Yeah, DLSS and FSR is both in the settings. We played without today. Performance mode for console. As I said, we are right now working on the performances, and that includes all the platforms. So give us a little bit more time to put our mind to ease, to find out finally. But I think by the end of the year we should know and let you know how things works, and how we will, of course, once we know for sure, then we will let you know. Collect edition
11th
in future.
February.
Yeah, well, maybe. So we had in KCD1, we had also several collector's editions. I can't promise you at this moment. Of course, as I said, there will be an art book at some point, there will be a vinyl at some point, and so on and so on. Maybe we will repack the stuff somehow at some point, but that's a bit hard to say.
Vinyl would be cool. And the art book I want.
You said there wouldn't be guns. though. There are guns in the game.
Yeah, that first.
I think that was a misunderstanding. So there are early gunpowder weapons in the game. I didn't have them today, but there are early gunpowder weapons in the game. You have to manually load them and everything. They're quite clunky to use. However, they're pretty powerful, pretty much one-shots.
People get terrified when you use them too.
However, don't think of KCD now becoming a shooter. Absolutely not. It's think of it more like an ultimate weapon kinda, right? So you have that weapon ready, locked and loaded in a way, and then enemy approaches, you shoot him, but then you change into your melee weapon and you fend off the others. Or because you have this Batman belt now, where you can put different weapons. I think 4 slots are there, right? So you can have 4 weapons mounted on that belt, so you can quickly. So that is that's some of the quality of life improvements we did in KCD2. So first of all, you can change armor sets. I didn't show that earlier, maybe the next time when we are streaming. So it's not like you can't change them mid-combat. Once you're locked in combat, then you can't do anything anymore, but you should, if before you go into stealth or combat or whatever, you can change your armor sets by clicking one button in the menu, which is pretty cool. But when you are roaming the streets or when you're inside combat, I played, as I said, today on a gamepad, and by pushing left on the D-pad I could open the Batman belt and choose the different weapons. Something like a quick slot or quick changing menu. It's pretty cool. So you can, as I said, have the loaded weapon in there, shoot someone, and then change quickly to a sword or something without opening your inventory, which is pretty cool.
It takes ages to remove the guns.
Falconry, no. What about GeForce Now support? I don't know, honestly. I don't think so. Maybe yes. I don't know at this point, unfortunately. Can you new animations? Oh yeah, new animations. So it's the
new animations.
So wash the face stuff, of course, but it's the tiny thing. In KCD1, when you were washing the face, you had that black screen, and it says you are fresh as it can be. Now you have this little animation when you will eat from the pot. Then you will actually have fruit on the little spoon, which is also cute, right? It's the tiny things that probably no one of you will ever notice, but for us it means the world to have all those details in there. HUD visibility options, like hiding the health and compass. Not the way how you describe it. You can't.
The game won't
toggle them on and off.
That's correct.
At least not as it is right now.
They never said it would. Everyone just assumed.
Will you show teaser from Czech dubbing? Actually, yes. So at the end of the month in November, we will be at MČR, Mistrovství České republiky in video gaming, and there we will be the championship of video gaming in Czech Republic. We will have a tiny little booth there, and we will show KCD in Czech voiceover there.
That's cool.
New melee weapons. Well, the style. Well, the pole arms are not new. Well, they were in KCD1, but they were a tiny bit clunky. Now they're better optimized and everything. You can use them. You saw the skill tree and everything. We did add completely new, out of the ordinary weapon types, other than the crossbows and the early gunpowder weapons. But also the crossbows, for instance, have variety, so you can have a light one, medium one, and heavy one. They all play differently, they behave differently, they have different loading times, while the easy crossbow you can load pretty much by hand. For the heavy one you need this lever already that is like turning. You have to put it on the ground and then wheel the string in, and it takes a while. So again,
one shot.
Shows you that if you want to have the super powerful super weapon, then it comes with a downside.
And there is really, you mentioned it earlier where we spoke about combat, and there is a lot of difference even between short sword, hunting sword, and saber. All these 3 weapons, if they seem like the same category, but each of them plays a little bit differently.
Okie dokie. I think that's it. It's 2 hours and 55 minutes. 1 hour and 55 minutes. That was a very long session. I would like to thank you everyone for being here with us. We will try and stream more often, so I can't promise you yet exactly when it's going to be, but I have a feeling that it will be quite soon. So thank you very much for being with us. I hope you like what you see, what you saw.
We did.
And stay vigilant, stay medieval, be good guys, and remember, fortune favors the brave. Okay.
All right, guys. Before we carry on, let's just discuss what we saw, because this is actually pretty damn awesome. We'll put the trailer on in the background just here. So, honestly, that was a really cool live stream. We got a lot of questions answered. One of the things I'm really surprised about is how they've literally... I know a bit about the blacksmithing, okay? I know that you will be out there harvesting materials, you know, from the mines and stuff. Not like, you know, Minecraft survival mechanics, but it's not like a survival game. But you go in there, you get the materials, and based on those materials and what you want to combine, you can actually go and create your own swords. And based on your skill level, you can create different types of swords and weaponry, and also improve them. So it's a lot more in depth. They always wanted to have that in the first game, but they never made it. I think it was actually a Kickstarter campaign goal, but they only ever had the grindstone. That was the only thing that made it into the game. So that is going to be a fleshed out deep system. Think like the alchemy system, but like for blacksmithing, basically. Like you'll be able to do like the bellows and everything and combine together. That will affect the quality of what you're crafting. So that is going to be in the game. I'm really surprised they haven't shown it off yet, because we're so close to release. And why wouldn't they show off like what is kind of like a main new feature of the game? It just seems like a really weird decision to me. So I don't know why they've decided to do that. Damn, this trailer is cool. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the carryover thing. So he mentions that Henry's kind of gets reset. So he's like, you know, he was a boy fighting bandits and now he becomes a man, and your skills aren't like powerhouse Henry like you finished Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with. But there are some things, like one of the questions that comes up when you're in actually this area near Trotsky Castle, you can see in the distance there, with Hans at the start of the game. Something else actually happened before, but I won't spoil that. So you're basically in this area and Hans is asking you questions. He's like, oh, you know, like how's Teresa, sort of thing. And you have a choice in the dialogue of saying you know her, or she's all right, or you don't really know her like that, or yeah, you guys are together, like you're sweet for her and stuff. And I think that probably, that dialogue based on what you choose probably affects the fact that she's in this Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and what your current relationship is with her. Like, do you start off already together, or like are you not together? I would like, if I'm going to play through this again, I would probably select the option that we're not together and then get to romance her again, because I think that would be kind of curious and interesting to see how it is in the second game. Lockpicking was very easy. So the Henry we saw in this gameplay looks like it was everything was really easy, including sneaking, because he had all of his stats maxed out. I don't know if when you saw the menu of when we saw all the stats there, they were all like max level. So I'm pretty sure that it looked easy because of that, but I think they've simplified it a bit, you know? So I think there are some changes there. I found it tough, too slow, maybe just used to PC. Yeah, lockpicking for sure. Some people also mentioned how it will be to control on controller. I think it's going to be really good on controller from what I've heard from people who've played it. There's a chance I'll go over to Czech Republic, to Prague, to Warhorse Studios, and show you guys the studio again, and also play the game and do a live stream, kind of like this. So let me know if you're interested in that, because it's really expensive for me to do that, and I think I'll probably end up making a loss on that video. But you know, we're discussing maybe we can do this. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the comment section. Not many games are built on CryEngine, so it's hard to manage comparisons, especially with higher end games. I think graphically, the lighting seems to be improved in this game. Texture-wise and everything else, it looks quite similar to the first game. You can really kind of see it in that shot right here with, like, you know, the first game looked amazing and it looks very similar. So I kind of expect it to run as well as the first game, but with even more optimization. Another thing I noticed was just all the NPCs in town that we saw coming and going. That was really impressive. There were just so many of them. And a cool thing as well I noticed was that when he was picking up weapons and armor, it came up with the stats next to it. So if you're stealing it or eating the food, you can see what that does to your character before you pick it up. But as well, like, you know, like look at the land beyond. Like, I'm pretty sure this is an LOD, right? Like, this isn't actually in the game, you know, but like, you can see the distant farmland. It just really makes you immersed in that landscape. But he showed the map on stream. We could see how big it was and how it was just a tiny little speck, the city of Kutanhora. So, you know, it's only part of the map that we've really been allowed to see, which is quite amazing. I struggle on Kingdom Come 1 long picking, so I hope 2 is easier. I think there might be some accessibility stuff there, hopefully. Look at this, even the plaited horse ponytail and the different gear you can get there is really cool. You don't have to. They will provide a rundown of what's happened, but in my opinion, it's worth it for investment of the story, and actually a great story, unlike, yeah, well, you know, I think if you haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, I think it's on sale still. It's a good time to jump in and play through it. It's one of the best games I've played. I think that and Skyrim are probably my top 2 roleplay games, to be honest, and that's not really changed over the years. And I came back to Kingdom Come again recently, and, you know, I was showing some funny exploits you could do with the tournament. And it continuously blows my mind. I did a second playthrough as well recently, live on stream, and I made some different decisions in the quest lines, and just different things played out, kind of like he was showing in the second game, where they have even more of that. And it's not about how many endings the games have. I think a lot of people get strung up on, like, kind of, it has one beginning, one end, but it doesn't make an RPG better if it has, like, what's it, Todd Howard said, like, Fallout 3 had, like, there are 100 endings or something. Obviously that wasn't the case, but this, you know, it's just not the hallmark of a good roleplay game to have lots of endings. You know, oh, you did this decision back there 17 hours ago, and now that's going to change your ending. I kind of liked it how they did on Fallout New Vegas, where each faction had its own ending, and then there was a cutscene at the end that would play, being like, oh my god, you doomed this town based on your decisions here, sort of thing. And Kingdom Come seems to be more about the journey, and as you saw in those quests, they have, like, branching choices that then affect how that story progresses, and ultimately leads to different conclusions in the end. And that was just a side quest, you know. So yeah, really impressed with what we've seen so far. Really excited to actually play it myself, and see what this is like, because man, I mean, look at the rendering distance and all these people in the towns. I just can't wait to go and kill a bunch of peasants, to be honest. Yeah, Witcher 3, Bannerlord are also on my top 5. Yeah, 100%, man. They are incredible, dark, gritty RPGs that give the gamers what they want. Which seems to be really hard to do and achieve in this day and age, you know. Anyway, guys, drop a like on the video. Support Warhorse by going to the Steam page and wish listing it. Even if you're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm excited, I know I'm going to buy it or whatever. If you just wish list it, it really helps support the developer of any game, especially indie games. If they're looking for funding, wish listing stuff on Steam that you're interested in really, really helps those developers. No one really knows about why, but it helps with investors and meetings with clients and trying to get your game out there and get good offers in the stores and you know, front row when you go in, like the local game store in different countries. So when you're in all those meetings, that stuff really helps. And I think one of the reasons Warhorse, by the way, is just creating such a great roleplay game is because they own themselves. They are created, like, I've met the CEOs, literally slept around one of their houses. They've been super accommodating to me several years ago when they released the first game. Just a great bunch of people, and they're all gamers. They love and breathe video games. They even, you know, like they're just so hard rooted in it, you know, even back to like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. So they just have such a pedigree of creating good games, but they also own themselves. So they're not trying to appease shareholders. They're just trying to make good games. And if they can make money and continue to grow the studio like they have been since Kingdom Come 1, you know, this is what they always wanted to make with the first game. They just couldn't find the investment to do it. They do have a publisher they used to be called Deep Silver, but now they're PlayOn. And they they basically have contacts and help publish the game, get it in the stores, and do the big advertising and the billboards and stuff. But, you know, Warhorse in itself is still just this solo studio, I feel like, that's really passionately creating games. So drop a like on the video whenever you see Kingdom Come Deliverance content from any creator. Give it a like, give it a watch. Like, it just helps support the studio and get the message out there about the game. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end it here because it's really late here at the moment. And I will see you guys in a future stream. I've got to replay the Kingdom Come Deliverance DLC, Band of Bastards, I think it's called. I've not played that yet, so I'm going to play it. And I'll probably be live streaming it too. So if you want to join that, you can come and join it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.